Right guys, so we're now going to do a little bit of a session with Jonny Bridgman. He's part of the gold team, came out fished the JRC Super Cup again. Jonny has, over the last couple of years, managed to master the art of ZIGS. Now, for me, I'm pretty old school. If it's in 10 foot of water and I need a 9 foot zig, I'll tie up a 9 foot zig and I'll chuck it out. But Jonny's managed to master the art of the adjustable zig fishing. And I know there's loads of stuff out there nowadays about adjustable zigs and how you do them, and the different type of zig floats that you can use in different places and all this kind of jazz. But what I wanted to understand from Jonny was, firstly, Jonny, welcome to the chats. Why zigs?
I don't know, mate. The lake that I fish around Cambridgeshire does really well on zigs. I've absolutely smashed it for the last 2 years on zigs, and they love a yellow and black one. And it's just, I don't know. The first ever fish I caught on a zig was a 30 pounder.
Okay.
And that's my second 30 ever in the UK. So it's kind of stuck with me. I love it. I enjoy doing it. And
It's that confidence builder,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's cool. It's all about confidence, but it's also, I don't know, I just enjoy it. I just genuinely enjoy it, and you've got to work hard at it. You have got to work hard at it.
Mate, I've seen you fishing, I've seen you working hard at zigs, but you know, in what kind of circumstance would you use zigs?
Me, all year round.
Really?
Purely because I know the lake. Like, you know, here's different because there's more fish in it. My lake I'm fishing is 6 acres. There's, 80 fish in it. They're all high 20s. And they love a zig, so you're gonna do a zig, aren't you? But I love to fish zigs. It's exciting as well because a single bleep will get you going.
Yeah, gotcha.
You can sit behind your rods and not catch, or not have a bleep for hours and hours. But a zig, even if you get a little, I don't know, roach slap your line, you're like, oh, hang on a minute, you know.
Gotcha.
I just really enjoy it, mate.
So you said about fishing zigs in your local one, but I know you fish zigs
Everywhere.
pretty religiously wherever you go.
Yeah.
So, if you imagine you turned up to somewhere like, we're in Hardwick Smiths on Linear Complex right now, and I know you've got 3 zigs out, right?
Yeah.
Why 3 zigs and not a bottom bait?
Because it's 45 degrees, the fish are going to be up in the water, and there's a lot of fish in here. Everyone's fishing bottom baits, you lot are all spodding it and they're chucking leads out. The quietest part of the water is going to be the top 3 foot for me. So I'm going to chuck a zig out fairly quietly if I can, and then raise it up, and then you've got that just sat there. And you know, if the carp's not hungry, they're going to swim past that and go, because they ain't got hands. They're going to go, oh, what's that box with their mouth? You're in. You know, if they're hungry, you can bait over the top, but I don't tend to do that.
I've watched something recently where they're, you know, like the legend that is Simon Scott, who obviously he's like the carp master, isn't he? He was saying, obviously recently on the big thing he did with typography, that the carp can hone in on like a pinprick of colour on the bottom, but when they're on the bottom, they're very they're stagnant or you know, stationary when they're feeding.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at a zig, they're moving through the water all the time, and then they'll see something and they have it.
Yeah.
So am I right in thinking that, bearing in mind it's only 20 degrees, not 45, and I'm going to call you on that. But am I right in thinking that the bites you get are absolutely electric when you hit a fish?
Most of the time, it is savage, hold on, see what happens. But then sometimes I've had the most ridiculous bites where, because your line's so tight going through your bobbins,
Yep.
right, that sometimes on my Delkins, that doesn't register. But all I can see is the stow just literally moving. I'm like, oh my God, right, okay. Or sometimes a rod will bend and it won't connect. But 9 times out of 10 it's mental.
Okay.
It is mental.
So, good fights.
Yeah, a single bleep, mate, I have to go and check it, regardless. 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I have to go and check it because I need to see where that bobbin is. Because if that bobbin slightly moves, I'll hit it.
Okay, that's interesting to know. So, thinking about that side of things then, obviously different zig floats, different zig companies, whatever, everyone uses their own little bit, right? But let's look at the other kind of dynamic of it, of the lead. So, a lot of people say you need to use the heaviest lead going to give that hooker potential. Do you agree with that?
I do, but if you're fishing in weed and you're struggling to get your zig to come up, because I use adjustables pretty much all the time, you need a light lead. So it just sits on the weed because it will drag the float down. If the float gets caught in the weed, that's not going to come up and you're not fishing.
Of course it is.
And if you retrieve it, a lot of the time, if you retrieve it like a normal rig, you will kink that zig and you will lose fish.
So the zig will kink when you're coming up with
100%, because you know that's floating line. That's not. This stuff is unreal stuff.
So what are you using on the line?
I'm using a 15-pound snag line, and I'll generally be honest with you, I've used a lot. Yeah, that is superb stuff. It's strong, but because it's a floating line, the abrasion resistance is not great.
No, of course.
And it's never going to be.
It's only a 15-pound line, isn't it?
Exactly. So you've got you really got to look after them. From this session, I've probably done 15 of these, because I always tie at 3 foot. I've done 15 of these, purely because if it gets a nick in it, you've had it. Because I've lost a fish this morning, purely through just one nick. So you know, I always run my finger every cast. Always run my finger to make sure there's no kinks in it.
So let's look at the other end here up by the hook and what you've done there. So you've basically got a yellow zigger liner with a little bit of black foam, right?
Yeah, that is my go-to.
And that's quite a small bit of black foam. You know, some people would say you've got to cover from the hook point to the bend, that kind of thing. Does it matter to you, or do you just
no, not to me. Honestly, I'll tie loads up, and they're all different sizes. And sometimes I'll even slide that down a little bit and have the foam really up, so the yellow line is just down here. I can have the foam up. It's literally.
So you do play about with that?
Yeah, I do, and you never know. Yeah, I've got a friend who's tied me a load of bugs. Charlie's dad tied me a load of bugs, isn't he? It's just what you do. But yellow and black for me, that is my absolute go-to. Okay. That has done me more fish in the last 2 years than any other colour.
Good morning, guys. Here we are on the last morning of the Snag Social, and in true Jonny Bridgman style, we're heading round after having a very emotional phone call a minute ago. It looks like he's got an absolute banger in the net. Definitely a UK PB. I'm having to take these along just to double check the weight. I'm not going to let anything out yet. That's going to be for Mr. Jonny to do after giving us a zig masterclass yesterday. We think he's got to pull one out on a zig. So here we go, guys. We'll get into the swim and we'll see in a little bit. It is, isn't it?
Yeah, boy.
44, £40 4.
£40 4.
Yeah, Jonny.
So guys, here we go, just to end the zig tutorial for you in true Jonny Bridgman fashion. £40 4 ounces. Couldn't have asked for anything more. Well done, Jonny. And I believe that's a PB, right?
It is.
And what happens with PBs?
Yeah. Hurry up.
Mate, look at him. He's fallen in, Charlie. Get the video, Charlie.
I don't think he fell in, did he?
No. Do you want to say hello to him?
Hello, fucking straight you. How big do you reckon?
Go on.
£40 4.
Happy days, well done, brother.
Doesn't he look so happy, Chris?
I had to phone you, mate. I had to phone you. I know it's early, mate, but I had to phone you.
Yeah, cheers for that.